All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Another message. I'm just going to talk and let whatever comes out come out. I have a pretty good idea what I want to talk about. I heard this morning, I don't know who they were talking to, but there were two people on the radio. They were saying, the president, he has to give up already, because otherwise he won't have any chance for 2024. So he should just concede already, and Shalom al Yisrael. I don't know, So then it doesn't work that way, because if we don't punish them for what they did, for the fraud, for the theft that happened, there won't be an America in 2024. There won't be an election in 2024. We'll all be in concentration camps if he gets away with this. He is owned by Joe Biden is owned by the Chinese. The Chinese put religious people, the communists, and it's not against Chinese people. I don't have a problem with Taiwan. I don't have a problem with the people fighting for freedom in China. It's the communists, and it doesn't matter what race you are, it doesn't matter what ethnicity you are. The communists, they put the Uyghurs in concentration camps. The Jews in Kaifeng have to hide themselves from the Chinese government. Christians have to hide from the Chinese government, and they have since 1949. This is and they're trying to bring this here. We will not have America anymore if we don't stop this now. And these selfish, swamp people, the senators and the congressmen who are telling the president to just give up because they're worried about, are they going to have some kind of job, this and that. We're not even going to have America anymore, and they're worried about some position that they might be able to have if they're in the good graces of the media or of the establishment. We can't let them get away with this. It's such an obvious gaslighting that they really want us to believe that Joe Biden got more votes than Barack Obama, that Joe Biden got more votes than Hillary Clinton. That makes no sense. Joe Biden got more votes than Bill Clinton. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. So people say, well, it's just because Trump was so bad. So you're trying to tell me that the power of hate is stronger than the power of love? Because I refuse to believe that. And that power of love for the president is so great because he got more votes than anybody ever got. And then when they noticed that, they had to start packing in these fake votes. We have to do something, and not only that, but the very fact that the people on the left are refusing to even let this be investigated because this is what they want. It's not that they want Joe Biden. It's that they want anarchy. They want just a balagan. They don't want anything to. They just want confusion. They want upset. They want unrest. That is what the left wants. Like, if they really cared about this country and everything, wouldn't they want us all to be satisfied? Because if, just bring it to court already. None of these things have ever been tried. It's not that the courts found them to be unfounded. The courts are just refusing to talk. That's not how this works. Tell us who has standing in this case. If Texas doesn't have standing, somebody has to have standing. This isn't fair. It's not fair to every American, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat or independent. It's not fair that we don't know what really happened. America's turning into a country like Israel or one of these communist countries that just, they don't care about the people. They care about themselves. The government cares about themselves, and they don't realize we're their bosses. Now they're talking about re-education. They're calling truth squads or reconciliation or something, and it's very scary what's going on. It's not an exaggeration to say that they're going to put us in concentration camps if we let them get away with this. This is a very dangerous situation here. But from a religious point, we survived Hitler's concentration camps. We'll survive Biden's concentration camps. I don't know if we as individuals will. I don't know if you or me are going to survive. But the Torah is forever. And even though they're going to try to stomp it out with all their nonsense, watering down, Hellenizing our religion with this garbage that Kamala Harris made this video. I saw the video that Ben Shapiro was heckling Kamala Harris's Hanukkah video, and he missed the big point. Even though he was kind of saying it, but he didn't. He could have said a little bit more eloquently and markedly and to the point that a guy like Doug Emhoff would have been the enemy and the loser in the story of Hanukkah. And so for a guy like that to celebrate Hanukkah, he's celebrating his own defeat. And the truth is, the Torah will survive. They cannot wipe us out. The Zionists can't wipe us out. The Democrats can't wipe us out. The Communists can't wipe us out. The Nazis can't wipe us out. The Torah is forever, and God is forever. And so even if we might be going through what Joe Biden calls a very dark winter, there's a brighter day in the future. But that doesn't mean we stop fighting. That doesn't mean we just give in. That doesn't mean we just let it happen. We have to fight first and foremost spiritually. And I know it's very difficult for me. I'm struggling so much just to keep a little bit, I'm falling, and I'm just falling so low spiritually during this whole year, and it's very difficult, and I don't know how I'm going to deal with it. But the truth is, we could always do tshuva, and you could do tshuva, I could do tshuva, we can all do tshuva, we can all repent. Hope is not lost. So God should bless us, that we should be able to make it through this, because I don't know, I really, really don't see any future other than something supernatural if we don't fix this right now. And so, of course, there could be other bad things could happen. But we're facing, really, like Joe Biden said, that dark winter. Really, either way, it's a dark winter, because even if the president wins and proves that he really won, which he did, we all know he did, then what? So then they're going to use that as an excuse to make more riots. And if they let the Democrats get away and they win, so then we're all going to go in concentration camps. It's really, really scary. It's really, really scary. So we have to. But the main thing is we have to keep the faith. They want to shut down our synagogues. We know what this is about. It's not about the virus. The Democrats want to shut down the churches and the synagogues. And by the way, the taverns and the restaurants too. Why? Because that's where the American Revolution took place. It was in the taverns, the restaurants, and the churches and the synagogues. That's where everything took place for the American Revolution. And and that's why the left wants to shut them down. Let me tell you something. We have to be people of prayer. It was an incredible story I heard today on, I think it's called Patriot Academy on the internet. It's a Vimeo channel, and they send out these videos on the email. It's about George Washington. People say George Washington, he wasn't so religious, this and that. You have to understand what does it mean not religious in those days. He wasn't a deist, a mere deist. I don't like this term deist, because unless you qualify it to say mere deist. And really the truth was, neither was Jefferson mere deist. these were men of religion, even if they were not necessarily men of the church in the classical sense, in the sense of the Federalist Party, of the churched men, of the clergy. What's the point why I'm saying this is what am I saying? So there was a story. There was a Tory, someone who was for the crown, right? A loyalist to the crown, fighting against the Patriots, and he saw George Washington praying, and then he decided to become a patriot, a Whig. Why? Because he said any man that could pray like that, God is on his side. And so to be on the side of the British is essentially, it's the wrong side, because look at how George Washington prays. And incidentally, King George, Glenn Beck once brought out his Bible, and you couldn't open it because he never opened it. He never broke the spine. It's sealed shut because from age, because it was never used. It was just a talisman, not even. It was just a symbol, right? Even though it says Vikar by Kol Yamav, right? King is supposed to read the Bible every day. Anyway, I'm assuming Mistama, that means that in the Chatzar HaMelech there was Kriyas HaTorah every day, like we have Kriyas HaTorah Monday and Thursday. Mistama, there was Kriyas HaTorah every day. Of course, with the brachas was a little different historically, but that's the point I'm bringing out. Anyway, when this loyalist saw George Washington pray, he said, I'm on the wrong side. I have to be with Washington. And the truth is, Washington wasn't just praying for his time, for his generation. He was praying for us too. And we can say, just like we say in our liturgy, Mishanas Avram Avinu Bahar Maria Hu Yanenu, Mishanas Yitzchak Benoy Shenekad Al Gabi Mizbeach Hu Yanenu, Mishana Yankov Bebeis Kel Yanenu V'chulu V'chulu. In our slichus, in our penitential liturgy, we say, may the one who answered Abraham on Mount Moriah, may he answer us. May the one who answered Isaac when he was bound on top of the altar, may he answer us. May the one who answered Jacob at Bethel, may he answer us, etc., etc. We go through all the figures in the Bible, Moses and Aaron, David and Solomon, and Jonah, and Daniel, and Chananim, Mishael, and Azariah, and Mordechai and Esther, Chizkiyahu HaMelech, all the tzaddikim, all the prophets, the God who answered our kings and our prophets and our patriarchs, should answer us. So also Misha Anna, as George Washington at Valley Forge, Huya Anenu, the one who answered George Washington at Valley Forge should answer us. And so God should have mercy on us, that this is not over, America's not over, and we have to keep fighting and not give up. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe, comment, and we'll see you later.